I, by default, prefer proxies as on. And I can even go full speed, full screen, and it plays everything back normally. So that is a proxy workflow. So that's something to think about if you ever have footage that's, really stressing out your system and bogging it down. Get the proxy generator, create your project, drop your clips in there, and then there you go. And Resolve is smart enough to know that when you export, when you do an export, say even from here, or let's say even if you're in the deliver page, it'll know to use the full quality file so that you have a great quality export. So that's the proxy generator. Hopefully it helps you out. Hopefully it makes you edit a little bit better, a little bit smoother. And so yeah, I hope that was helpful. Okay, so here's another bonus lesson, and this again will be super fast. I just want to let you know that you can also get Resolve on the iPad. It's very easy to travel with. You can do a proxy workflow like I've gone over, and then put those tiny files on your iPad's hard drive or on an external USB-C hard drive if you have an iPad that has a USB-C port. Either way works. You can put them on your iPad, Google Drive, Dropbox, on an external hard drive. Take your iPad with you, edit. You can connect your iPad to a keyboard, to a mouse, and it's honestly not that different from editing on a laptop. I've used it, I love it. It's shockingly fast, shockingly smooth. You would think it's kind of like slow and weird and clunky. It also works with an Apple Pencil. So if you don't know that, I'd say go to the App Store. They have a free download because DaVinci Resolve is free. They have a free download you can check out and play with and use it. And if you like traveling with your iPad a lot like I do, it can be very easy to do, look through footage, do a rough assembly on your iPad. I probably wouldn't go so far as to say you'll be, doing some very nitty-gritty in-depth editing, but it's just another very awesome tool that you have that's portable, and we all know we love things that are portable so that you can watch your footage. So that's it. Check out the app, download it, and I think you'll be glad you did. Hey, what's up? So I just wanted to do a quick bonus lesson here to talk about this little guy right here, which is known as the speed editor. It was pretty much built to work with the cut page, and it really just helps where if the cut page makes you much faster at editing, this guy here makes you even faster. And it's really all about having that sort of tactile feel on the keyboard. I would compare it something similar to the color grading control panel, or maybe like an audio mixer, things like that, where all of those functions that are in the cut page, things like the smart insert, the append insert, multicam. What you can see here is, for example, you have the close-up button, a very easy, in and out button, and then the jog wheel here, which helps you kind of scroll through the timeline. It really just makes your life a lot easier. Now, you don't absolutely need that. It's just something that, I kind of feel like I would be doing a little bit of disservice by not bringing it up, just because it was built for the cut page and it just kind of works so well with it. Especially if you're doing multicam editing, just being able to hit the keys of number 1 for camera 1, number 2 for camera 2, and going back and forth between the two. So let me just show you really quick how this might work in action. I'm just going to go over it quickly. And it won't be an in-depth lesson on the speed editor, but just a quick overview, just so you know about it, so that if you have the cut page going, you also have this additional tool which you can use. But so anyway, let me just show you how it works. So let's jump right in. Okay, so here we are. I'm just going to show you the speed editor in action really quick. As you can see, I have the scroll wheel here, and I can just go through. This is the same video that we worked on before. So you can see that makes it very easy to scroll through. So let's just pretend we want to make a few different changes. So I can always, hit the source button. You can see that what happens is right here, it shows the source tape mode, okay? And then what I can do is simply just go through and scroll through all the shots. Just like that, you can see it's very, and if I want to go even faster because it's a lot of clips, then I can hit this scroll here. And then normally my eyes are here, and this is where we kind of just go through all the different shots. So then if I want to scroll through, for example, let's say I want to put in this shot again, okay, and then we go back to jog, and then I usually simply just, now I'm scrolling through that shot. There, I go in, out, and then again, pay attention to where the edit point is here. And then what I'm going to do is actually, I usually always want to have the audio locked. So again, I'm just going to hit the smart insert, and you can see it placed, and I hit timeline, and you can see it placed that right there. And then if I want to edit this clip here, for example, where her eyes are open the whole time, I can just simply, you can see we have all the tools here for editing. So I'm going to do slip source here, and then you can see it showing me the in and out point in the top, and we're just going to do that. And then I can scroll back, go back, play, and there's the clip there, just like that. And then if I want to go back to the source clip, I can keep scrubbing through shots. And then let's say we just want to put this shot here at the end. I'll say maybe in, out, and then this time I want to, again, it doesn't matter where my playhead is in the timeline. I'm just going to hit the append key here, and it adds that shot to the very end. Timeline, and I added that shot to the very end there, and then I can keep scrolling through. I'll show you a few more edits. Let's say here we go, and then I'm going to do a back to source. And I'm going to go to scroll because I want to kind of get through the clips a little bit quicker. And here's the shot of me. So let's say I just want to put in this shot here of myself. So I'm just going to. So I go here, I'm going to go in. That's it. So we have out. And then this time I'm going to do place on top. And you can see timeline, go back to jog, and it placed that clip. Okay, and now if I want to trim this shot a little bit, right now that shot is on track number 3, which I'm seeing by seeing this here. It's on track 3. So now I hit 3 here, scroll. Always pay attention to where the smart point is there. And then I'm going to do trim in. Actually, I'm going to make it shorter, so I'm going to go to trim out over here. Hold this down, and then I can trim that to wherever I want, and I want it to snap to there. And that's what I want. Because when we look back on our adventures, we realize we had it in us all along. There we go. And then I'm just going to do a little bit. Again, this is not a full course on the speed editor. I just want to show you kind of what it can do. So again, I'm just going to do a very quick ripple override. So I'm just going to go back to source, and again I'm just going to scrub through, and maybe let's just say I want to put in this shot here, in, out, and I'm going to do ripple overwrite, again paying attention to where the edit point is, and it's over this clip there. For ripple overwrites, that does matter, and it replaced that shot. Now notice that it put it on track 3 because I had track 3 selected. So now I'm going to undo that just to make my time a little bit cleaner. I'm going to hit 1. Notice that it jumped to number 1 here, and now I'm going to basically do the same thing. This time I'm just going to make it a little bit quicker, go back to source, and I'm going to do ripple overwrite. And see, it swapped that out. That one shot there, it swapped it out. Is a hero's journey. And if I want to trim that, again, last thing I'll show you here is just, I'll say trim out, hold this down, and I can make an adjustment here however I want. Make it as short as or long as I want. Is a hero's journey. Because when we look back on our... And there you go. Again, we have a lot of different functionality here. That was just a very quick tour of, what can be done with the speed editor. It just makes things a lot quicker to go in, hit the keys very quickly, and it makes things way, way easier. So I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you got something out of that. And yeah, I'll see you in the next lesson. Let me guess, you use Premiere and you're thinking of switching, or you already have, or you've been using Resolve for a long time and you've always wondered what the cut page is. Well, honestly, if you're not using the cut page, you're probably editing way too slowly. When the cut page first came out and I'd already been using Resolve for years and using the edit page, honestly, initially I hated the cut page. I jumped over to it. It was confusing. I didn't get it. I didn't understand it. But then one day I decided to give it a shot, and honestly, the more I used it, the more I loved it, and now it's 100% part of my workflow. In this class, you're going to learn how to use the cut page to edit faster, edit more efficiently. I'm going to go over the interface, I'm going to go over the edit tools, I'm going to let you know what makes the cut page unique, and by the end, you'll be glad that you're working in the cut page. I'm Fred Trevino, and I have been a colorist for over 10 years, and I've worked with countless companies from Gucci to Prada to Google to ESPN and more, but I have also edited a ton of projects, including 4 feature-length films. So I have worked in Adobe Premiere, I've worked in Final Cut Pro 7, I've worked in Final Cut Pro 10, and of course I've worked in DaVinci Resolve as an editor. So I'm here to let you know that if you really want to edit really fast, really efficiently, then I would say get started with the cut page and learn to use the cut page and the edit page together. After this class, not only will you have a better understanding of the cut page in Resolve, but you'll be a much more efficient editor, which if you do this for a living or you think about doing it for a living, that'll mean more money and less time worked. And also, as a bonus, a lot of what I cover in this class actually translate over to the edit page. So whether you're using the edit page or the cut page, I think there's a ton of benefits. So let's get started.